ReZero Season 4, Episode 3, Keeper of the Watchtower. Holy shit. This episode was actually insane. Oh my god, dude. I think I'm still in shock from that episode. That's the best way I can put it. This is easily one of the best episodes, stands hand in hand with some of the best, and coincidentally, it's also easily one of the darkest episodes. That is the ranking. Alright, now, there are other things that I want to talk about with this episode, clearly, but, with this one specifically, I feel like I can't do the thing where I talk about the little things first and then get to the main point of the episode. So, let's just get right into it. So, Ram, Anastasia, and Subaru all actually lost their minds in this episode. They all went insane in, their own unique ways. And I mean, I'm sure them walking around in a dark tunnel, thirsty, hungry, tired, as well as whatever was going on with the air and the witch's miasma, I feel like all of that just piled together just made them all begin to crack, especially since it messes with their minds, as they said that the witch's miasma does. But, yeah, let's just do a quick recap of what happened, I guess. Subaru and Rem started arguing, which then led to Subaru looking like a fucking demon by using Invisible Providence on her, which, by the way, he's been doing that, a lot more as of recently, and it feels like it hasn't really been hurting him, that much anymore. So, my theory for him, adapting to it by now is, I feel like that kind of stands. But then he starts to choke her out while saying a lot of interesting things about how it always sickens him how much she looks like Rem and stuff like that. And then just when things are about to really start going down, Anastasia, or I'm sorry, Echidna, because this is Echidna that's doing what is about to happen next. Echidna stabs Ram. And then she just walks up to Subaru and it's hey, let's just forget about everything that's happened here. But then we get the moment of this episode, and that is when Anastasia gets fucking cleaved in half. And dude, you cannot pay me, you cannot convince me that in this moment, this was not Anastasia. This is actually her. She just woke up. You cannot convince me that when she yells, that is not the real Anastasia. Dude, she got easily one of the worst deaths in the entire series. There's been worse, the whole rabbit thing, but that is easily one of the worst deaths we've seen another character get. And then Subaru starts pulling on her hair and shit, and then tosses her across the cave. And so after running away from her, we get a genuinely really sad scene. We hear her beg him not to leave her there.
Don't leave me.
And then Patricia is over here eating Ram's head off of her body. By the way, she's big bloated now. I don't know if she was transforming or some shit. But she turns around and then just bites off Subaru's head as well. So he ends up waking up back where Ram and Anastasia found him. And we find out that the real reason why they all just cracked like that is because of the witch's miasma that was in that hallway. But anyways, I think all of that experience was a really good example of why you should turn left at the crossroads. But anyways, Subaru is definitely being very careful to be kind and nice to them because he probably feels so horribly guilty about that last loop. And then eventually, Subaru stumbles his way out into the light. And then he encounters a fucking Dark Souls boss. I'm just gonna straight up say it. Subaru has to be the most unluckiest man in human history. Actually, no, wait, I know who this is. This is fucking Burial from goddamn DMC4. Man, dude, Subaru really walked in that room and got hit with the... But anyway, Subaru once again uses invisible providence with very little seeming drawback, and even though he's about to die along with Ram, they both end up getting saved by the same woman that I'm pretty sure that I'm like 99.9% sure this is the sniper. I mean, we heard her voice and she says the same thing, you know. Also, by the way, I'm really liking the voice so far. I cannot wait to see more of this character. But anyways, before I go, there is one last thing I wanted to quickly touch on, and that is the fact that the doors in that tunnel they opened for Subaru. And Subaru has always had a bit of a weird thing with like witch cultists listening and bowing to him, and him not throwing up in the presence of Echidna, and him having the actual ReZero devil on his shoulder. Yeah, Subaru has always been really weird, and so I'm really curious if he has like some kind of connection with the Pleiades Watchtower, because I'm assuming that those doors are just an extension of the Watchtower, which is, you know, just food for thought for later. But anyways, I'm really tired and I'm feeling really lazy, so I guess I'm just gonna end the video right here. Yeah, just hope you enjoyed it. You know, have a nice day, man. Drink some water.